Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video talking about some newly shown items at New York Toy Fair 2018. This time we have the Marvel Legends kind of first 10 years, line, which is kind of celebrating the MCU and kind of doing the 10th year anniversary figures. So they're going back and they're doing some older figures based on characters that they've never made before, essentially. So they're doing the same thing with Transformers. This type of line is just ideal for me. There's been so many figures or so many characters that have been missed on as far as figures are concerned, and I was always very disappointed that we didn't get figures of them. And now they're going back and they're not only kind of doing this where they're picking figures that they haven't done, but they're making all the figures that I just have wanted, when the movies came out. So never would have expected to actually get these figures, but we are. I've made separate videos in the past for some of the other ones that were shown a little pre the actual show. Now during the show we do have the rest of the assortment. First of all, this 2-pack we have Ant-Man and Yellowjacket. Couldn't be any happier than this. This Ant-Man, I believe, is mainly a repaint of the original one that came out in the series. There might, actually that kind of looks like the Civil War design. So I'm not quite sure which version of that Ant-Man suit it is, but it's an excellent looking Ant-Man suit. I do like it a lot. It does come with a Paul Rudd head sculpt. The one that I really care about, though, is Yellowjacket, of course. Always wanted a Yellowjacket figure. We have one now. We'll get some closer up images of it in a second, but the figure itself looks excellent. It looks like it's very smooth, especially in the leg section, but I do like the paneling on it, and the black and yellow look great together. Of course, the mechanical arms look wonderful. I'll be interested to see how articulated those arms are, but they do look great so far. And you can see kind of in the package in the background, we do have the smaller versions of Yellowjacket and Ant-Man in there that were released in the actual, just regular wave when the figure first came out. Looking great, though. I absolutely love that head sculpt and the visor. It looks excellent. Couldn't be any happier for this figure. This was the one that I was really hoping that they would do, and they did it. So couldn't be happier about that. This 3-pack with the Mandarin I have already made a video of, so feel free to check that out if you want my thoughts on the 3-pack. It's looking good in person, though. Do very much like it. Then we have this 2-pack featuring Thor and SIF. Not 100% sure how new that Thor figure is. That kind of looks like the one that was in that Amazon exclusive 4-pack, so that might be redone to some degree, but I'm not sure. SIF, on the other hand, she does look like a nice figure. SIF is just a character that I don't really need, so she's the only one that I'm not stoked about in this series. She looks alright. She looks like a solid figure. Just character-wise, I'm not a big movie SIF fan in general, so I'm going to skip that one. Crossbones and Captain America, couldn't be any happier about that. I've already made a video talking about it. Then we have this 2-pack featuring a Tony Stark and Iron Man Mark 1. This is a cool one. The Tony Stark, I've basically already made that custom because we did get a Tony Stark head sculpt with the Civil War 3-pack, and I put it on a chameleon body sculpt, which is just the suited version. So I essentially already have a Tony Stark figure, but it is nice that they are releasing an actual Tony Stark figure. The Mark 1 Iron Man, however, I do think is quite nice as far as I like the design of the Mark 1, so it's very cool to actually get a figure of him. My issue is that the head sculpt is too small. It looks very odd for the fact that his helmet is so small compared to his body. So that would be a great pack, but with the Mark 1 not looking the best, I do think I'm going to skip it, which is a little disappointing because the Mark 1, of course, is a very popular and unique armor. So that would have been a nice one to get. Then, outside of the 2-packs and the 3-packs, we do have some single-carded figures. This is quite exciting. We do have the Redskull. Couldn't be any happier about this again. Another Marvel villain that was sorely missed when he was not made into the series, and now they are, which looks great. They're doing some interesting stuff with this one too, because although it's just a single carded figure, it comes with multiple head sculpts and then multiple weapons and vests, so you can kind of interchange him and make him into other characters such as the Hydra soldiers. As you can see, he does come with two basically the Hydra soldiers. There's two just standard versions which have different color shades as far as the eyes are concerned, so you can interchange them to be just the standard ones. And then there's also the Hydra soldiers that have that shoot the flames, and they're kind of the heavy duty ones. You do get a head sculpt for that. Or actually, sorry, that's the pilot, the head sculpt that they wear as pilots when they're preparing to board those bombs at the finale of the film. So that is very cool that you can kind of interchange him to be Redskull or to be actual Hydra. Hydra soldiers. The Redskull figure himself looks excellent, though I do like the head sculpt quite a bit. I prefer Redskull in his black cloak, so if they were going to do one of his costumes, I would have preferred that one. However, beggars can't be choosers. Just so happy to get a Redskull that even this costume looks excellent, and again, I do love the fact that they're using this costume as a way to allow you to interchange him and make him into the Hydra soldiers and many different kinds. Like it's they could have easily just given you one of those Hydra soldier head sculpts, but instead they give you 3. So that's fantastic and really makes army building very easy. And as you can see, he does come with one of those weapons that they do use in the film that shoot the lasers. They look excellent as well. So I could see myself picking up, probably I pick up 2, one to do Redskull and one to do a Hydra soldier with. Then we have the Mark 7. I did make a video talking about this one. This was shown. Looks excellent. Very happy to finally get the Mark 7. And then basically, finally, we have Ronan. Again, another Marvel villain that I absolutely love Marvel villains. They've missed out on so many, and here's just another one that they're going back and doing. Ronan looks excellent. Do like the head sculpt a lot, and then the kind of headdress that is attached to his shoulders. That might hinder articulation a bit. However, you can still see that he holds the hammer weapon very nicely. His body looks a little rectangular-ish. I wish that it had some more definition and kind of bulked up towards the top and slimmed down towards the waist. However, I do still think it looks good. And the paint on it as well is excellent too. And as you can see, his scale, he looks quite big, especially compared to that Iron Man, which is accurate, so I'm very happy about that. So overall, I couldn't be any happier with this this line in general. They're making all of the figures that I've ever wanted and were disappointed so long ago for not getting. Although it's taking them forever to finally produce them, we are getting them, which is cool. So I couldn't be any happier. I mean, really at this point, the only ones that I could have still really want are Ironmonger, Abomination, and Malekith. Those 3 would be very cool. Obviously, with Ironmonger and Abomination, they're kind of too big to be released on their own, but that would be very cool. But nonetheless, I don't expect any more from this line. This line has given me so much more than I could have ever hoped for, so I couldn't be any happier. Can't wait to get these figures, especially the villains. Mainly just the villains. There's actually the other ones I don't care much for. But overall, yeah, really enjoying this series. Cannot wait to get Ronan, Yellowjacket, Redskull, and Crossbones, as well as the Mandarin into my collection. So let me know what you guys think of this new line and the figures in it, and thanks so much for watching.